Hello wrestling fans, welcome to the Wrestling Wrap-Up. I am your host, the Megastar Austin Savage. This is episode 18 of the show. What I'm going to cover is Impact, where I'm taping this almost at midnight on Thursday night. And then I'm going to answer some viewer questions that I didn't get a chance to answer last week. AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels, also known as the Phenomenal Angels, which is a name they got earlier in their TNA careers, versus Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer. I thought this was a good match. I don't think they should have had AJ come out in the neck brace. I mean, I understand his neck is injured and all, but to me it doesn't look good as a product. The Scorpions sit down with Anderson as Sting, and his guest was Disco Inferno. And they kept trying to hit the point home that they flew Disco in from Las Vegas. That's not true. He's a road agent for TNA, for Impact Wrestling, I'm sorry. I'm still getting used to the name change. And the fact that Anderson beat up Disco Inferno, or Glenn Gilberti is his real name, and then out came the real Sting to save him. Just book these two in a match and get it over with. I mean, seriously. I mean, I understand they're going to have a match at Slammiversary, and Anderson is probably going to win the title, but they just need to, stop doing all the stupid skits, I think. They just really need to get in the ring and, have them in tag matches, or do what they did with Jeff Jarrett and Kurt Angle, where next week they get to pick each other's opponents. I think that would be a better solution than these stupid skits they've been doing. Velvet Sky ODB promo I thought came off really good. That should be a really good match. I hope it happens at Slammiversary. Gunner Eric Young promo. Eric Young is funny, and Gunner is just so intense that I think they really play off each other very well. A recap of Flair and Bobby Roode from last week. This goes into a Bischoff beer money promo where Bischoff basically informs them of the 30-day title defense rule, which I'm sure everybody knows. You defend your title every 30 days or you're stripped of the title. And Robert Roode is not going to be able, to defend the titles at Slammiversary, which means I think James Storm will find a suitable replacement partner, and everybody knows who that's going to be. And if you don't, watch the early years of TNA and you'll figure it out. They showed a video package from Explosion of the Pope and Devon. Who cares? I mean, Devon's never on TV. Pope is very rarely on TNA TV. I'm sorry, Impact Wrestling. Kurt Angle did a promo with Morgan. I mean, Morgan was the handpicked opponent for Jeff Jarrett. Scott Steiner returned during the match, cost Matt Morgan the match. And Bischoff and Hogan, that mutual ass-kissing on those two's part. And Hogan said, and I quote, "The X Division doesn't matter." This brings out Mick Foley, who says that the X Division does matter. It's what TNA was built on, which is an absolute 100% goddamn fact. TNA is what... the X Division is what put TNA and Impact Wrestling on the wrestling map. Therefore, all this month, I guess, or next month, June, Mick Foley's going to scour the globe and get the best X Division talent in the world, bring them to Destination X, and have Ultimate X. Will Abyss be in it? Will the X Division title be on the line? Will there be a number one contender spot up for grabs? Or how are they going to do it? It'll be interesting. And, so far, I'm really impressed with TNA. Damn. Impact Wrestling. I think since the name change, they've really put an emphasis on wrestling. I remember thinking at 9:33 tonight that, wow, there's been a lot of action, and it's only 33 minutes into the show. And, after the announcement of Destination X and the Ultimate X in July, the X Division guys come out, Kendrick, Jen Me, and Amazing Red. Brian Kendrick begs Hulk Hogan, because it's his destiny, that's a word I'm tired of hearing in the wrestling business, to win the X Division title and to face Abyss. So he gives him the match. More on that one later. Winter with Angelina Love, still a zombie, versus Mickie James. The highlight of this match for me, other than the finish, was a Northern Lights suplex done by Winter. It was a thing of beauty. It really was. If you didn't see it, check out a replay, go to a friend's house, watch it on DVR. After the finish, Winter was busted open, I believe, inside her mouth. And apparently, seeing her blood, Angelina attacked Mickie James and just kicked the crap out of her, which I hope that match gets signed for Slammiversary as well, because that would be a great match, I think. Okay, the Abyss promo. Weird. I don't know why he's quoting The Art of War all the time now, but it's interesting. It adds interest to his character. It shows that Abyss, or Chris Parks, it was his real name, is an intelligent person, and not just a sadistic monster. Kaz attacks Abyss and takes Janice away from him. Janice is the giant 2x4 with the nails being driven through it. Gunner and Eric Young was funny. They tried to do the whole Kevin Nash, Hulk Hogan finger poke of doom, and Eric Young suckers him in. He rolls him up 1, 2, 3. Eric Young is the new World Television Champion, which I thought was brilliant, and the fact that they chased each other around the ring was just funny. Kurt Angle and Rob Van Dam, incredible match. TNA is really starting to put together matches that are really good, and I think in terms of in-ring wrestling product, they are leaps and bounds ahead of the WWE at this point. Kurt Angle won with the Angle Slam, thus building momentum towards Slammiversary and his match with Jeff Jarrett. That's all I've got for Impact notes. I just want to make a little side note here and talk about the upcoming NBA Finals. After the Miami Heat dispatched of the Chicago Bulls, they will now meet the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA Finals. And this is all new, so I don't know who has home court advantage. I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan. I would like to see them win, but I think it's just Miami's year with the big three, and finally LeBron James will win his NBA title and they can shut up about it. I would prefer to see the Dallas Mavericks win because I'm a huge Dirk Nowitzki fan and a huge Jason Kidd fan. So there you have it. I'm going to come back with episode 19 of the show, where I'm going to discuss something other than wrestling. So be sure to check that out. It's going to be about the horror movie genre. I'm a huge horror movie fan. So check that out, episode 19. I'll be taping that momentarily after I get done this one. This is the Wrestling Wrap-Up. I am your host, the Megastar Austin Savage. You can email the show, wrestlingwrapup@yahoo.com. Follow me on Twitter, @ProudToBeStraightEdge. And now, to close out the show, I'm going to answer some viewer questions. Kristen from Delaware asked, what are your feelings on the current WWE product? Too much entertainment, too much comedy. Some of the in-ring workers are good. I like to watch Del Rio work. I like to watch The Miz work. A-Rai really impressed me this week. I'm a huge Dolph Ziggler fan. I think he's got a lot of potential. But overall, I mean, I don't know how you want me to grade it, like on an A, B, C, D, F type thing, or I give it a D right now. Let's just cut to the chase. I give the WWE the grade of D right now. I see signs of potential. and things that they're doing right, but I see a lot of things that they're doing wrong. In terms of what the fans think, I mean, they think business is great as usual because, you know, they're raking in $1 million a night. You know, roughly. That's, I mean, I'm sure they don't make $1 million in every town, but just about. Ben from Portland, I don't know if that's Portland, Maine or Portland, Oregon, he didn't say so, asked me, who do you enjoy watching wrestle, both past and present? Wow, Ben, that is a really, really good question. In terms of WWE guys, when I was growing up, I really enjoyed watching Randy Savage, God rest his soul, Mr. Perfect, the British Bulldog, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. I was a huge fan of tag team wrestling, and I still am today. So I like the Hart Foundation, the British Bulldogs, Demolition. I loved Strikeforce, the Rockers. I liked them. They were awesome. Let's see. In terms of the NWA, everybody's favorite, Ric Flair, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, the Steiner Brothers. I love to watch Larry Zbyszko, Barry Windham, Mike Rotundo, who could have been WCW or, NWA or WWE because he was in both companies in the 80s and 90s. And later on in the mid-90s, I loved to watch Taz, the franchise Shane Douglas, the Pit Bulls. I love the Eliminators tag team, John Cronus and Perry Saturn. So yeah, those are pretty much the guys I like to watch in my past. Of the current crop, the American Wolf, Davey Richards, Eddie Edwards, Austin Aries, Dolph Ziggler in the WWE, AJ Styles, Kazarian, Beer Money. I like to watch Wildcat Chris Harris. I learned a lot from him, actually. In my late career, I would use the Catatonic, and my partner and I, Nightwalker, when we were the tag team champions in the old wrestling promotion, would use the Death Sentence. I love that move. That was really cool. We actually did a Death Sentence off a car because we were having like a parking lot type match. And of course there's no ropes, so we had to come up with something. Yeah, those are the current guys I like to watch. And I mean, there are many more, both past and present, and I can't name them all. Mike from Salt Lake City asked, what's the best advice you ever received, and who gave it to you? Back in high school, my high school wrestling coach, Ted Reese, said to me when I had to stop wrestling in high school due to my asthma, this isn't the end for you. You've got what it takes. You've got it in your heart. Don't quit. And I didn't. And I had a very successful wrestling career. Crystal from Atlanta. Who do you think is the next big thing in the WWE and Impact Wrestling? In the WWE, I can see it being Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre. I mean, Zack Ryder's not going to be world champion or anything, but I see him being a bigger star. Impact Wrestling, I mean, in Impact Wrestling, it could be anybody, because they don't limit guys. I could see it being Bully Ray, or Kazarian, or Christopher Daniels, Robert Roode. If he breaks away from Beer Money, I could see him being a world champion in TNA. Damn, Impact Wrestling. Alright, I'm almost out of time on this video. Email the show, wrestlingwrapup@yahoo.com. Follow me on Twitter @ProudToBeStraightEdge. I'll catch you guys with episode 19 coming up in a few minutes about the horror movie genre.